Hi, my name is George, and this is my life story.
Okay, George, before we begin and talk about your birth, could you take a few minutes and talk about your family heritage and history before you were born?
Yes, to the best of my knowledge, I don't really have, I've never been over into either country, but my father was born in Scotland, Aberdeen, in 1906, I believe. And he grew up there and left there when he was 17 and came to this country by himself. My mother was born in Hull, England in 1909, and she grew up in Glasgow, Scotland. And she immigrated to this country in, I believe, somewhere around 1926, 27. I'm not exactly sure about that. Matter of fact, my son...
Okay, George, tell me about your proposal.
My proposal. Oh yeah, all right. Now that's another interesting thing. See, you're bringing out a lot of interesting points. These little things that I don't remember, but then I recall when I guess the thinking mind or whatever it is starts working. I was on the ground. See, now I'm telling you a lot of things. Like I'm kind of putting a lot of the things in here that are probably not the question you're asking, but I have to tell this to get to the part where I was at. But anyway, I was on the ground crew of one specific bomber, which was a B-36-2052 call letters. And I was in Strategic Air Command, and they had bombing competition every year. So our flight crew and ground crew was one of the crews picked to go in this bombing competition. And the bombing competition was in Roswell, New Mexico, which most people are familiar with Roswell, where the alien encounter and so forth. Well, the year that I went there would have been 1954, to be exact. So our crew went there to Roswell, and my wife and I had been dating, and we had talked about getting engaged and so forth. And when I went on this bombing competition, I was gone for, I think, 6 days from Fort Worth to Roswell, New Mexico, and I was very lonely. Worked a lot of hours and got very lonely. And when I got back, I found out that my sweetheart in those days was just as lonely as I was. So that's, from that, me going on that trip and being gone those 4 or 5 days at that time, is when we made up our mind and picked the date of March 6th, which was probably like a month, 2 months later. So that's how we got that date picked out.